Hi everybody and welcome back to Hex Token channel. Your host Superman. Hope you guys are going to enjoy this. This is just a quick short video on the Hex ecosystem changes, and of course this is a visualization, and of course compares to June 2022 versus May 2021, so approximately 1 year, and of course based and inspired on the Gunther the Accountant Hex Audit update. So that was done on Matty Allen's show yesterday. So hope you guys enjoy this quick video. Let's get into it as we roll. So obviously we've got the Hex ecosystem, and this information is pretty insightful. Obviously it's based on best insights through the big payday, through the AA lobby and things like that in terms of tracking addresses by Gunther. And of course you can see here that we've got based on the data when it was snapshot, 641.8 billion total hex in hex supply, and of course it's got 60 billion there that is staked hex, so 60 billion staked with about 3.6 billion at the time, and of course it's about 9.35% of all hex is staked at the moment. Circulating supply of hex is 90.65% circulating supply, and of course that's 581.8 billion, around about 35 billion at the time of the snapshot there. Now obviously we're going to look at the zoom down on the staked hex there, and of course you can see staked hex is at 60 billion, and of course those two correspond. And if you break down 60 billion staked, we can see that 8.1 billion is estimated to be in the OA or origin account, and that's staked to 13.5% of all hex staked is the origin account. And of course user staked there's 51.9 billion, and that's approximately 86.5% user stake there. So that's kind of the public non-OA there in there. So users like you and I in there at the moment. So that's the stake breakdown. Pretty interesting stuff there. And of course, if we looked at the circulating supply, this is 17.7 billion is for users or the public, and 564 billion is the OA liquid there. So 97% in the origin account. Now this is a really big deal, this 3%. A year ago, back in May 2021 I should say, the circulating supply was 4.4%, and it's down at 3% now. That's a major decrease in the circulating supply in the public hand there, or users' hands, and it's 1.4 percentage points. It's a pretty big deal there, so down to 3%. That's really good. It's heading in the right direction. Hex is 2.5 years old now, and of course heading onwards towards 3 years later in this year, and of course that's pretty powerful stuff there. So circulating supply is definitely getting down. That will support the price going up longer term, so very bullish there. Obviously we've had things like the Pulse chain sacrifice, the Pulse X sacrifice, possibly over 5 billion hex sacrifice for those, and of course we've got penalties that get paid for people early in staking and things like that, going off to the origin account. So circulating supply definitely been decreasing quite significantly. Very, very cool. We've also seen really successful third-party products like Maximus there, staking 294.4 billion as well, getting in stake. So some really, really cool things happening. I suspect we will see a lot more of that goodness in the years ahead there, reducing this circulating supply. So it's going to be pretty powerful. Let's get into user position at the moment. So user position, we've got ownership, so 641.8 billion again. So we'll go back to the total again. This way we're looking at it from a different perspective. We've got user ownership there at 10.9%. That's 69.7 billion. And of course we've got the OA owning 89.1% of all hex there. So some people might easily use 90%. So OA holding 572.1 billion based on the Gunther's Hex Audit there. So pretty cool. There's another way of looking at it. We're going to zoom in on the user ownership. We can see that the user staked has 51.9 billion, and user circulating 17.7 billion of the 69.7, and it's 24.5% circulating, 74.5% user stake, which is very, very powerful. So if you take out the origin account there, you would have a lot of accounts that are smaller, that might be considered crabs and things like that, and stake wrap actually probably a lot bigger if you exclude the origin account, maybe like dolphin status and stuff like that. So it's very, very powerful from that point of view. We're going to also look at the next one there, user behavior year on year. So we're comparing this year on last year now. All that data was 2022 data, so that's June 2022. Now we're getting into the year on year comparison. We can see that user stake there 53.1 billion versus the current year, June 2022, 51.9. We got Hex billions on the left hand side, the vertical axis there. So 51 there. So we can see user stake there is down by 1.2 billion based on these audits here. So pretty cool. And so staked is down. But we also circulating supply down by 9.7 billion. Obviously, we've had those big giant sacrifices for Pulse and Pulse chain, PulseX and Pulse chain. So very, very powerful there. And which was about 5 billion. We've had other stuff, penalties and all sorts of things else added in there too. So circulating supply there. So quite a bit switched into the Origin account. But 27.5% there was a billion last year. May 21, and of course June 2022, 17.7 billion there. We've got the total user there. Therefore, if you add those two together, it is down about 11 billion approximately, and that's 80.6 billion down 69.7 billion there. So very, very cool. You can see that in the public's hands, it's Hex is less, that's for sure. So very, very cool stuff happening there. As we say, the circulating supply down to 3%, so bodes well for the years ahead. The OA and the user T-shares year on year. We can see that, in purple here, May 2021. Now, there's a bit of a question mark over these OA T-shares, but currently it says 2 million and 2 million flat. So we've got T-shares in millions. And, of course, the user T-shares there, 9 billion down to 8.4 billion. So that's down 600,000 there. So we're currently sitting at about 10.4 million T-shares. So that's basically down from 11 million last year. So pretty cool to see those numbers. Like I say, this is based on the Gunther's Hex audit. Obviously, that's based on the psychology of behaviour of wallets during big payday and the AA lobby and things like that, tracking those down, as well as the Origin account address. So pretty cool stuff, though. It does give us probably the best case insight out there that I'm aware of. And I hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. So circulating supply, the highlights there. 3%. We're down from 4.4 to 3% with the user wallets, circulating supply. So it's heading in the right direction, folks. This is only 2.5 years into Hex. It's a multi-year project, and of course, we'll watch the next couple of years as that circulating supply gets eaten up by a number of things. We've obviously got the MetaMask wallet sacrifice for Richard Hart coming up. The Hart wallet coming up with the sacrifice. That should eat up more of that circulating supply. And of course, we've got new other products expected like Maximus coming up to lock up Hex as well, and circulating supply, including Hedron and Flex from Power City. So there's lots of stuff coming down the line there. And no doubt we'll have large whales and institutions coming, the Hex Investment Trust, a retail adoption, highest of stakes, much more coming to eat up that circulating supply and support the price going up over time. Very exciting. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and I'll look forward to your comments in the video. Bye for now.